Hi guys, let's take it from the TOP. Hi everyone, good evening, blessings to you all. Today we have Christopher Barrett on the live today. He's going to be discussing life, writing, poetry, his two publications, speaking marriage, Christianity, spirituality, and so much more. Let's see if he rejoins us and hope the signal is going to be great. So let's see if he pulls up. Hi, whoever's just joined the live. We're just waiting for Chris to return. Let's try again. Hi, sir. Let's see how it goes. Yeah,
Yeah,
fingers
man.
crossed. We want a nice live,
Yeah,
and we're
man.
asking the universe for some
You
strong.
understand the most high, but yeah, man, he's got his locks. You understand?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Okay. So welcome back, friend. All
yeah,
right. So
man.
let's take it from the TOP.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into it, I'm just going to share with the audience and those who'll be watching this back that you're going to be speaking about life, this reasoning about life,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
Christianity, marriage, a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
relationships, and
Yeah.
inspiration that what
Mm-hmm.
inspired you to create your two publications of poetry books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Practice What You Preach, and the other entitlement is called Fly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Freedom loves Yahweh. That's how it starts.
nice. Nice. Blessings to you guys. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So before we get into the layers, and as I unlayer you through this evening for the next
Mm-hmm.
hour,
Mm-hmm.
let's get into some of the warm-up questions. Yeah. So the
Mm-hmm.
first thing is where this relaxes us both and allows us to energy connect, and we know a little bit more about you as a soul, as opposed to just the handles, as I always say. Let me
Mm-hmm.
start with how did you spend your day today before coming on the live?
As always, man, come on from an amazing environment called Heaven with Working with Children in
Okay.
the Organization Institute of the Educational Structure, but it's more about the souls, the young little souls. So I'm
Nice.
coming on from there. Just basically just straight in, the bosom of the Lord, as one friend of mine rightfully has addressed it as, the bosom, the presence of the Lord, basically. So my head is just straight there. As soon as I walk out that gate, boom, lock off. That is right behind me. So
Okay, we both visited the modern day plantation. Yours was
yeah,
more pleasurable, I guess.
you know. So
Yeah,
yeah, and more time just straight into the medis, man. Now and then,
nice.
just flip through the gadget, that would be different. But more time it's reflecting the mind. I don't want to be dehumanized by external things. Self-control, basically.
Absolutely. Good answer. Good answer. All right. So let's get into some more layers of who you are as a soul. I'm going to start with who is Christopher B?
Very good question. That is
Mm-hmm.
an eternal question because who Christopher B is still finding out who the origin and the I am that I am Christopher B.
Come
The
on now.
past Christopher B was as a rugged man, a rugged man.
I
You
love
know,
your answer. Authentic to the core. Love it. No plating. Yeah.
no man,
I love
when
it.
I stepped up,
Very, very
you know,
balanced response. I like that.
only truth, because
Mm-hmm.
again,
Mm-hmm.
as the opening statement was, it's an eternal. I'm eternal. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That's how I see myself. I'm me, I live
Mm-hmm.
in myself, So
Mm-hmm.
them ways there.
I like
So
it.
to answer that, I'm growing.
I love that response because, um, there are a lot of us who are very much in touch with who we are. And
Mm-hmm,
even so, we are constantly evolving
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
regressing in life. So when we say, I
absolutely.
know thyself, which we do in the
Mm-hmm,
present, but
mm-hmm,
tomorrow, next week's a whole different rendition. So
definitely.
we are forever knowing thyself, even if you know thyself in this very second. So I love your response. Yeah.
Good, good
So my
man.
next warm up question for you is, what was you like as a child? What was the younger Chris like? Baby C. What was you like?
I probably, when I reflect that, my childhood
Sorry,
was
got the
very,
sniffles.
it's very,
Yeah.
you know, um, in and out vague, because again, growing up is just fast.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of, went fast, but the Most High has given me the time and the grace to reflect, and He brings remembrance. And I imagine myself, as a youth, now being in the environment, very joyful, literally naive and gullible,
Yeah.
but always wanting to befriend people, just make people happy,
Mm-hmm.
because I found somehow my own inner happiness, but at that time as a child, couldn't identify it or cognitively articulate, oh, this is called quote unquote happiness. Or
Mm.
now, beyond happiness, where I'm at the present state till eternity, the joy of the Lord. That's eternal. And
Okay.
that's a given gift.
Okay. So that was you. That was you elaborating on what you was like as a child.
Yeah, man. Literally.
Okay.
I'm still that child now, but that's
Mhm. No, we need to be in touch with levels. And you hear me say
yeah,
levels.
man.
I didn't say all.
Right. No,
Levels of childlike self.
right.
It helps us to continue to almost
Balance.
shred and repair and stay
Right.
stay grounded to a degree, you
Literally,
know?
literally.
Mm-hmm.
But I was reserved. Because again, I
Oh,
told you,
was you?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man. That's what I'm saying. Reserved as a child, but had my own, again, imagination. As we're older, we lose that imagination and that inhibition, anxiety.
Mm.
Inhibition gets translated to anxiety. You trade.
Interesting
So
theory.
when
I
you have your
like.
inhibition free, you trade it for anxiety, worry. Oh,
Mm.
oh, oh. I know them long thing and stress out your head and NASA. Do children worry? Do young minds worry? There you
Mhm.
go. So
You
yeah,
make me
man.
laugh. You always make me laugh. Okay. Hmm. So, what is your origins? Tell us where your folks are from.
Mom's Jamaican and father's from Barbados.
Oh, that's a nice mix.
Yeah, yeah, very nice. Man. Speak to both places, you know.
Hmm. Nice.
Yeah, man.
Which one do you, is there a preference?
Um,
Either or either, as you've been to both countries.
I go either, but I think my roots, if it was a country wise, definitely Jamaica, 100.
He's going to say that. Actually, why didn't I know you had Barbadian in you? How do I not know this?
Because I don't really, try and speak the twang, because I don't do
Okay.
it very well, but the
Hmm.
Bayesian in me, the calypso, the soca, I talk into you.
The accent, I need to prepare. No, listen,
The one,
I have to prep myself before hearing such accents.
thank you,
It's
thank
strong.
you. It's literally strong and funny.
But I have been told that it's been mentioned relentlessly when I speak of Caribbean islands. People say St. Lucia, Barbados, that is
Yeah,
well up there for being the most pleasurable and enjoyable vacation people
yeah.
have in terms of Caribbean. I've heard that. Hmm. Don't freeze on me, Mr. B. Okay, so Chris seems to be having technical issues again. So I'm going to hang on the live this time. This often happens, yeah. This often happens when I have a cross seas, but he's only around the corner. So let's see what happens. Guys, let me take this moment to thank you for joining us and for those who will be spinning these lives and wait for Chris to, yeah, Barbados, yeah. Let's wait for Chris to return. Oh, that was a spontaneous one. He's back.
Apologies, man. Signal, man. Move
Well,
wrong
you
now,
know
man.
what we do? You just keep coming back, just like
Yeah,
life.
man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I
Yeah,
got
just like life. Okay. So let's go into your next warm-up question. Guys, for those
you.
who's just joined and those who's recirculating on the live, this is
Mm,
Christopher B. We're going to be talking from life all the way to his publications. In the middle, we're going to talk about marriage and also spirituality and so much more. In the
mm,
meanwhile, in this moment, we're discussing his warm-up zone, which is just warm-up questions that allows us to get to know him as a soul. Okay. All right.
mm,
And during this live, we will create space. for us to return back to the comments, but certain talks, I don't like to keep breaking conversations to attention of the inbox, but we will create space a little bit later. So feel free. Yeah. So
Absolutely,
Chris,
man.
yeah. So welcome
Yeah.
back again. So your next
Thank
warm-up
you.
question is, I've got to make it a bit different. I've got to switch it up for you today. All right.
Doubt am I gone again? Am I gone again? Am there still?
No, you're still here.
All right, all right. Because go on, go on.
Yeah. Let me ask you
Right.
something I haven't asked anybody else, I don't think. What's your pet
Mhm.
hate? What grits you? I don't care whether it's about, whether it's a thing, place, person. What grits you? What's your pet hate?
My pet hate is this world.
Oh,
Done.
oh my God. Let me sip my tea. I didn't expect that one. Thank God it's only tea in here. You understand?
You don't know.
What did you say? This world?
Yes.
Wow. That's a strong one. Like, elaborate, please.
Elaborate. What do you
Okay,
see?
touch the iceberg. We don't have 5 shows tonight, but like touch the iceberg. That really part 5, because I know you can fully explain and break down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
And at this
tell me,
stage,
what is it about this world that you despise? Is it the world or those who's in it?
no, 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 no. Those are in it that comes down the line, but it's
Okay.
the world,
So give us touch
right?
base
The
with us on
world,
that.
how moi sees it, I'm seeing it through spirituality. It's all
Okay.
connected. I know I don't want to run ahead of ourselves, but
Mhm.
that is the answer. I don't see this world through my natural
Mhm.
5 senses. Hence, I keep on reiterating my mindset disposition is eternal, period. Unequivocally. I'm not here to disprove or prove anything to anybody.
So,
It's
so
a
let's get into that. Let's make it more tangible. Otherwise,
okay.
see this. So we can't. It's not that actually that kind of response. I know you cannot give it in 60 seconds. But as I always feel, it's like when someone says,
Mm,
money is the root
mm,
of all evil. And I said to my father
mm.
the other day, Dad, it's not the money. Because if you
No.
and I both had the same
Mm,
$1 million, we would spend it 2
mm.
different ways and invest 2 different ways. So
Precisely,
it's the
precisely.
individual, the spirit
Correct,
behind the
correct,
object. So if we say,
correct.
so how, let's just say for argument's sake, how the creator created
Hmm.
this place. Once,
Right. And he didn't
once
create
mere
it.
men came
Hmm.
here,
Hmm.
everything mashed
Hmm.
up, as you know. So
Literally.
is it the world or is it those who misused it?
Both. Because
Okay,
the
you
world
still say both.
if we're meant to be in one, in unison with the world, i.e., we weren't supposed to eat no flesh. Every living thing, seed, bear fruit, alkaline, our bodies, our DNA, our fingerprint,
Come on now. So are
everything.
you a man that don't eat meat or fish or
No, no,
any
no.
form of
I'm
flesh?
getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. These are all
All right,
desires.
my bad. I was about to get excited and start praising you, but at least you know. At least you know.
I
Okay.
know. Yeah. Once I didn't
Okay.
know, didn't understand or overstand the principle, the
Mm.
benefits. So I'm now walking on that journey and in embracing it as I've come along my way.
So
Now we're
you
not
feel we based on what? Your opinion or literature or
all
scripture
of the above.
or
All of the above.
that we wasn't
All
supposed to eat no form of flesh? Does it say that in the
none.
Bible?
Yes. Leviticus. But again,
Okay,
it's
I'd
the
love to
law.
see that because that is a good one.
Yeah, yeah, I can all find them up, but it's Leviticus. But again, people get twisted. This is where religion comes in now. Some
Mm-hmm.
people want to just deal with the Old Testament, but they're not really living it to the core because of their heart. Because there's more than 10 commandments, really, but the 10 was given to a set people. Then you've got the
Okay.
New Testament. Now, the New Testament is now about the grace. So then other people then will start talk about the grace with the Romans and everybody can mix up, mix up, mix up. So both sides have forgotten the Maccabee, the Jubilee, and all those other books that growing up we heard not read the Maccabee Bible because it turn you mad and all these
Oh
other things.
wow.
Yeah,
Really?
Jubilees, there's many, many books. Book of Enoch. The list goes
Mm-hmm.
on. Knowledge, the list goes on. But the
So you're
66
let
books,
me go back to go forward because I know like we're gonna have a conversation offline in the next few days. So, yeah, we've got to go through all of this. Okay. Yeah. So basically you're saying you've seen it and you're gonna send
yeah.
me this at some point where it
Mhm,
actually says in the Bible
mhm,
that we should not be eating any form of flesh.
mhm. There's a
So
diet.
with that knowledge, although
Mhm,
though we feel so based on vibration and etc., and many of us have turned to that lifestyle and graduated to that lifestyle, are you now then, with that knowledge, trying to cut off all the flesh
Yes,
eating?
yes. I
I'm
throw
really
the
glad to
biggest
hear it.
name
I'm
in
glad
there,
to hear it.
Dr. Sebi. I throw that name in there right from now.
I wish I could have him on my live.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
But we grew up with all these things as little youths
Hmm.
compared to what I see of, call it as it is, GMs,
Okay.
GMF. Then you've
Hmm.
got the fast food. Every now and then we do that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But more time, it's more about disciplining oneself. Because you can
Okay.
still eat the food, and I'm going to go a bit deeper now.
So,
Still
but I
can
mean,
eat
and we've got, okay, before we go all the way left, because I know we're going left, we're biting into your actual main topics, but I don't know if that actually rounds up.
the
I
world.
hear it, I acknowledge it, because when I ask you the warm-up question, which is, what do you despise? What grips you the most? And you say the world, and I say, is it the world or the people in it? Because imagine if everyone was gone, it wouldn't be the world, would it? It'd be the people.
No, if we were all gone, it would just be a
We all
planet.
just, if everyone disappeared overnight, would it be the world? As in, or is it the people in the world that's causing the
It's
problem? The
both.
world itself, how does the
Mhm.
world itself create problems? I'm
Okay, well,
intrigued to know that answer before we move on.
well, the world now, because again, the terminology of the world, some people might see it as the earth. Do you see what I'm saying? The planet. Now, the world, then, for me, is the mentality, the soul, which again intrinsically connects the spirit.
Or
My
the
soul,
spirit of what though? Of who? Humans.
people,
But that's
humans,
what
yeah.
I'm saying. If the people did not exist, it's not. Do you hear what I'm trying to say? If you eliminate,
Mhm.
when you analyze what you're saying, it's
So if you
based on
limit
mere
people,
humans that
mhm,
misuse the world.
I like this one. So you prefer AIs in humanity? If you
I have
eliminate
no
humans,
preference.
okay,
It's your
yeah.
despise. Do you see what I mean?
See.
But
Oh
we
yeah,
can
yeah,
go
yeah.
into that because that's an interesting one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But
In other
when you
words,
actually,
alternating your DNA.
hmm
Because humanity, mankind, God's
hmm
creation,
yeah.
and AI, artificial intelligence,
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's enmity against God. Because
Right.
God created man in his image, but man,
Hmm.
through the way we have seen before, past, present, and future, there's many eternal historical artifacts and evidence for every soul to seek for themselves to be set free, to detach themselves from religion. Hence, they will see the world for what it really is. Hence, I speak
All
from
right.
an
So this has
eternal.
to be something we come back to because in my and maybe I should turn to the comments at this point because I
Please
see a
do.
few because I'm still maybe I'm wrong. I'm happy to be. I'm
No,
open
no,
to
no,
being
no,
wrong.
no,
It's not a
no, no,
problem.
no.
But when
You're not
someone
wrong at
says
all.
I despise the world, or
Mhm,
someone says the root money or the other is the root of all evil, it's
mhm,
the people behind it.
mhm,
Because
mhm,
it's so like I said, if we all disappear today, it
mhm,
obviously they've already messed it up. But let's just say, for an example, yeah, do you know what I mean? Let's say, for an example, it was recreated again, and we didn't know any of
mhm.
this. You and I wasn't here right now. It
Right.
wouldn't. The world would be
Wouldn't be like
fine.
this.
It's the
It
people
would
that's
be.
come.
Yeah, it
But I'm
would
not
be.
trying to change your mind, but I'm trying to
No, no, no,
explore
no.
so I can
But that is a
understand further.
connection. But that is a connection because look at the world. If we're
Yeah,
meant to be if we're meant to be intrinsic to the
yeah,
world, i.e.,
yeah,
if we get sick, why are we going to the herbs to heal the body? That the
yeah,
herbs is connected to the DNA within our body.
yeah.
So
Let's have a quick peek at the comments. I'm going to break
please
my
do.
commandment. I'm going to go to the comments because I feel
Okay.
like people's going to say something that's going to maybe enlighten me or give
Oh,
another.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we're still on the warm up zone, everyone. Yeah. Oh, let me see. I am going back. Can I? Where is the comments gone? Sometimes they disappear.
Yeah, they move fast. You have to scroll down or something. You know.
Okay, so someone says creative thoughts say they have no sense. I'm wondering. Tell me what you're what in reference to what in terms of those who has mistreated the
Mad
world
sick
or
head not good. How people have mistreated the world, yes. Them not have
yeah.
no
So I'm
sense.
thinking that's why I wanted to go at this stage because I don't miss
Them
what
not
that
have no
was. Yeah.
sense. Basically, it's what okay. Anarchy.
Hmm.
If people understand that word anarchy and people are ill treating each other and killing each other.
But do you hear what you just said? So we can stop this part. It's people. It's not the world. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah,
Because every
but
time when you express what you're
mhm,
saying, it's
mhm,
not the bricks and the stones and the
uh-huh,
pyramids that's misbehaving. It's the people.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
So it goes back to what you despise then is the state
mhm,
of the world. Help me if I'm, reading correctly.
mhm,
The
mhm,
state of the
mhm,
world
mhm, mhm,
based on, as you say, those who's totally had a different
mhm, mhm.
agenda and it's
Yeah,
work.
man. But don't you think
You
the
know?
possibility that there might have been other things here before us?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm all into phenomena, even mermaids, but we can talk about that another time. You know what I mean? Don't get me deep. But listen, don't let me mash up this live, please, because I've got a focus point here. Yeah. Yeah, I love all this kind of conversation. Anyway, guys, let's see what this
But
person has said and we can move on. Yeah. The people in the world, right?
yeah,
Okay.
man, yeah,
Yes.
man, yeah, man, yeah, man,
Yes. My sister Fee says he is saying, oh, hang on, let me just go back. He is saying it's the world that is corrupting the people because we're meant to be one with the earth. Yes, but how are
yes,
we not one with the earth, Fee? Who has made us not one with the earth? So
that's the
I want to hear what
spiritual
Fee has to
element.
say there. Because if you believe we're supposed to be one with the earth, which I believe,
Hmm.
why
Hmm.
are you not one with the earth? Why are we
Hmm.
not one with the earth? Who's stopping you from being one with the earth? Because once you
Hmm.
have knowledge, there's a level that
Hmm.
we can reach if we are
Hmm.
about that and if it's possible to
Hmm.
reconnect yourself. Some people
Hmm.
leave all these things behind and go and live
Yeah,
on
man,
mountains and they are
yeah,
the real
man,
deal.
yeah, man, yeah,
They
man.
are the
To get
real
me,
deal. So you can
yeah,
actually be one
man,
of the earth if you want to
yeah,
be, but you've
man,
got to be about it.
yeah, man, yeah, man. That's what I'm
But
saying.
for
So it's either
now,
that,
you
it's
know,
authentic or AI.
right? So for now, we can go to the green and put our feet in the ground and ground, but
Yeah,
that's as far
man,
as it's
yeah,
going right now.
yeah, man, yeah,
Yeah.
man,
Let's read some more comments. And after this,
yeah,
I'm gonna
man.
not be naughty and read any comments. Let's have a look.
My auntie, yes, my auntie. They
Yeah.
are forgetting about
Lust
their inner
and
self.
actions, yes.
Yeah, man.
They are forgetting about their inner self. Leanne
Yeah,
said,
man. That's my
absolutely,
auntie, man. Big up my auntie,
absolutely.
man. That's my auntie there, man.
Hello, Auntie, and everybody else on the live. All right, so let me go to your last warm-up question.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, man. That's how we roll.
Oh man, I always have all these questions, but I'm thinking I should flip it tonight, and I'm trying to think of something that randomly on the spot that I haven't
Mhm,
asked anybody.
mhm,
I've
mhm. That's
asked
a
you
good
your
one.
last question, which is your pet grieve and what you really
Mhm,
despise in
mhm,
people
mhm,
or things. You've answered that. I think I'd like to ask you now. I was going to say, as I ask, what are your two favorite celebrities? But based on the
mhm,
man you are,
mhm,
maybe I should
mhm.
ask you who your two favorite disciples were.
Ah,
Is that
that's a
good?
good
Is
one.
that good?
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's
Yeah?
a good one.
Who? Yeah? Yeah? Because I know a man
There's so
like you
many.
it's come different. So
Yeah,
who
that's a
was
good
your
one. That's a
two
good one.
favorite disciples and why? Educate me a little bit, please.
There's so many. Two. Okay,
Or
disciples.
maybe, okay, because you're special and I know you, my brethren, so I'll give you three.
Oh, thank you. That's the
Yeah?
Trinity, the Holy Spirit, the Rock. Yes, yeah, thank
Yeah?
you. All right, then. Disciple number one, I have to talk about the Messiah himself. You
Oh, come
understand?
on then. Talk to me.
The
Talk to me.
Messiah. Yeah, man, the Messiah
Mm-hmm.
himself, written and formed in flesh and walked
Mm-hmm.
this earth. You know what I'm saying? For all the people that will go read for themselves, no matter which version they want to read, John chapter
Mm-hmm.
1, the whole of
Yeah.
book of John chapter 1, go study that. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And let the Spirit deal with your case because it's dealt with
Oh.
my case. I can make that statement.
Oh,
Two,
okay.
um, Enoch. Because again, you know, he was before the 66 books. So again, this is like a prophetic character
So
that
have you read all of that?
not read
Wow.
all,
Mm-hmm.
read through as the Spirit leads. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
always try
yes.
to reference.
Mm-hmm. Reference. Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Hence, growing up, you only grew up with the 66 books and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then David, King David, a man after God's own heart. Yeah, man. Now his character, um, transparent,
Mm.
transparent, and so transparent for the scholars and the people that want to know about him. Go read Psalms 51. When he,
I do
as a
love the
king,
songs. Mm.
yeah, he had to, sort out his heart and repent and reason because he
Mm.
done some off-key things.
I might read
But
that
again,
tonight then.
Psalms 51, you know what I'm saying? But
51.
David was transparent. How we are, that's how it depicts and how the Spirit reveals it to me that I can relate to his character. You know what I'm saying? How he grew up to how he became and so forth.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a hard one. There were so many,
So
but
we so we love your three favorite
the
disciples.
Messiah, the Messiah himself,
Mm-hmm.
Enoch,
Mm-hmm.
and David.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, that we have a few in the inbox, you know,
Mhm.
Jesus, Peter, and John. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so now let's get into the meat of the conversation. That was your warm up. Thank you for that, Chris.
Mhm. Mhm.
I see that you're going to have to come back in the next month or two.
But yeah, man,
Yeah,
pre-appointed
I
time,
think you
man.
should
Because
actually
I
make
love
it
the
a
Esther as
regular,
well. See,
actually, a regular
Esther's a
feature.
woman as
Yeah.
well.
Mhm.
Esther's a power. Esther's a power.
Okay, Esther, inbox me after the live. We'll make it happen.
No, no, no. I
Yeah.
mean the name. Sorry, the name.
Oh,
The name.
oh,
Sorry.
and then
But that
scripturally.
sister,
Okay.
she should inbox you as well. Power.
Okay. Okay.
She should
All
inbox you
right.
as
So,
well.
Chris,
Next.
today
Mm-hmm.
your topic is life. Yeah, we're
Mm-hmm.
going to as we're already discussing, life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to touch on spirituality, which and a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of religion in terms of Christianity. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the inspiration that led you to write these two amazing books entitled "Practice What You Preach" and "Fly."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and we're also going to talk about marriage because
Mm-hmm.
you've had a
Yeah,
few.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Three-time
You
over.
believe in love. Yeah. All right.
Completely.
So
Agape love.
let's roll some dice. As
Mm-hmm.
opposed to me dictating in that order, is there any particular topic you'd like to go into first?
Me no mind, man.
All
Each
right,
and
so
any
shall I
one.
flow with it? All
Yeah,
right.
man, please do.
All right. So let's talk about faith. Let's go into faith, and I miss
Mm-hmm.
faith. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Am I a woman of faith? Yes. Um, how much? I don't really have a measure. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have a measure, but I think it
Mm-hmm.
needs to increase, and it's always room for a lot of improvement. Yeah.
Precisely.
Okay. So going on your journey as a
Mm-hmm.
man, a
Mm-hmm.
brother, you know,
Mm-hmm.
a Caribbean influenced background, but raised and bred in the UK with
Mm-hmm.
life's challenges and blessings,
Mm-hmm.
how have you yourself managed to remain with faith and in whatever realm faithful to that? Tell us
Mm-hmm.
about that.
Well, first and foremost, I have to give most praises to the Most High and my parents and the family
Mm-hmm,
and what they did and how they did their best. Because if it wasn't for those two souls, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
one has to always give honor and respect, you know, as it says, honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long, you know.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm,
So kind of grown up, mum was into the Seventh-day Adventist, you know, through that transition, Black Panther, so all through all of those, you know, Rastafarian,
mm-hmm,
so all through, you know, putting level of roots within one's soul.
mm-hmm,
Because as one gets older, the world is not going to be as it portrays it to be. So
mm-hmm.
I've always had that, you know, instilled from both my parents in their unique way of showing me their concern about my life and how I'm going to be living it. So as one got older, primary school, as I said, kind of naive, just doing my own thing. Secondary school was the key. So from 13 losing my virginity, my
Mm,
whole life changed. As I look back, I
mm.
can say that. And if I had to change it, abstinence, I'll just wait for the one. But that will go into it later on in the topic because that's connected
Is
to the
there ever,
spirit.
there hasn't been a one, so that's a whole nother Jerry Springer show, isn't it? For many of us.
Basically, there's so many layers because
Mm,
as the listeners will hear, if they listen intently and keenly,
mm,
I am a character that is past, present, and future and
mm,
eternal. So even
mhm.
I sometimes have to catch myself to help the listeners in myself come in or melt out.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that journey of believing and hearing, you talk to yourself, you hear things in your head. You've been taught how to pray and meditate and so forth. So you utilize these life skills if one chooses to be true to themselves. You experience things, i.e., lost my virginity at 13. So you start walking in the flesh and start doing some foolish things
Yeah.
and the era that we're born in. But as teens are growing up and you're trying to find your character, by separating from your peers and
Mm-hmm.
having your own identification, but still respecting your peers around you, you then have to be true to your own soul.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, you have to have your own boundaries. Because if you don't hear, you must feel, you know. And then you start seeing things in life. Everybody's path of life is different.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So
We talk about it.
this is in terms of faith, yeah?
Yeah,
Have
this
you
is to
ever
do with faith.
experienced anything that's challenged your faith? In like even in your quiet hours where you're like, you know what? Like some people do. If you really
Mm.
exist, God, then why is this happening? Have you ever really had those moments? Have you
Yeah, at
never?
the beginning. Yeah. That was at the beginning. You know, as I got older, you know, walked into the religious doctrines and embracing the practices of the religious indoctrination, but was only reconnecting to the present, what we are having now about my soul and my spirit. Hence, I'm not a religious man, even though I went through the banner. And basically, like you go to school,
Mm-hmm.
you come out of school, doesn't mean that you're a doctor. You might study science in school. Doesn't mean that you're a PE teacher just because you study PE. You have to really qualify and study to show thyself approved. And that studying is
100%.
beyond man studying, because
Mm-hmm.
remember, the mantra is we know thyself, practice what you preach. There's so much mantras out there, but do people really live it? And if we do really live it, there's only a remnant of people that live it, because why? They're in that harmony of peace. Because they can always say,
Okay.
metaphorically speaking, we detach from the quote unquote matrix. So there's all these rhetorics and these mantras and these words from Plato days, the Greeks.
May I say,
Mhm,
where you hear people of apparent enlightenment
mhm,
saying that they separate themselves from the matrix, I'm
mhm,
yet to discover how. And let me tell you why. I
mhm,
mean, I'm open to being told how,
mhm,
but let me
mhm,
tell you why I always kind of question that. If I'm
mhm,
living in the system itself, which is thy matrix, I know this probably makes up the mind, there's levels, yeah?
mhm,
But if I'm
mhm,
living in the matrix, and I'm utilizing all that's within the matrix. I have a cell phone. I have a, I have, I have, I have, I have, I have a widescreen TV. I'm on social media. I'm on all these things that are heightened within the matrix and control and influence for our minds and spirits. How do I then say I'm not a part of the matrix? Now, I've seen people in documentaries, those who are roots people or maybe even Rastas, whatever, and some of them have said, I don't even want Babylon's knife and fork. They literally, I don't know how they've created their own wooden knife and
Yeah,
fork. They
yeah,
don't
yeah,
even wear the clothes. They
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah,
created
yeah,
natural
yeah,
sackcloth
man,
for their
yeah, man,
clothes.
yeah,
Now, those are
man.
people to me that
Offering,
are removed from
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
system. But when everybody
Okay.
else is talking about their woke and their enlightened and I'm not a part of the matrix, I actually feel like the deeper some people go, the more you go, the more you're gone, because you're not even thinking about what you're really saying.
Precisely. So it's about the
How are you
clarification.
separated if you're still maneuvering and you're buying into stuff that's a part of this system, which is the matrix? So that
Precisely.
confuses me with people.
Precisely. And this is again why myself, my soul always tries to be clarification of my disposition of where I stand and speak on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the world, but I'm not of
Mm-hmm.
the world. So
Mm-hmm.
being in the world, I used to be of the world in the practices and everything and just existing.
So you would say in entirety, you're not of
Mhm.
the world.
No.
Hmm.
And let me help
Okay,
you there.
my friend. Okay.
I
Okay,
used to
my
be of the
friend. Let
world.
me know how that could be. Go on.
No, I used to be of the world in terms of the cares of this world. That's what
Give
I
me examples. Because think
cares
about
of
it.
this world. Right.
Go
I'm
on.
going to give you an example. Cares of
Mm-hmm.
this world, I'd be just stuck and concerned about whatever narrative that the external influences of organizations is pushing to me. News,
As in the church system, are we referring to?
everything.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
ecumenical. The whole
Mhm.
construction of this world. Before we were, okay, let me give you one.
Go.
birth certificates.
Oh, come on now.
Right. That in itself, the letter of the
Come on.
birth
Spit a couple of bars on
certificate.
that for us. Elaborate a little bit.
Right.
Just yeah, let people know why you dropped that bomb.
Right.
Go
The
on.
birth certificate and its
Yeah.
whole
Number
systematic of
system.
the numbers and the numbers, that is a straw man person. That is not the core essence of the soul of the being.
Hmm. I mean,
So,
numbers, birth certificate numbers,
national insurance, all right,
prison cells, everything is
everything.
numerology, isn't it?
Neurology. Now, neurology is good, but it's how it's been flipped. Hence, the
Absolutely.
people are being, because it's not again, the sun. You can say, oh, the sun's bad. No, it's not bad. It's just you make it bad because of you not
This is what
respecting
I
it.
was saying earlier. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's not a coincidence that what I'm saying you said earlier. So that shows the listeners the clarification. The
Yeah.
elements of this earth planet is not bad. It's we. So I do understand with this to go back about the core bits of earth.
Yeah.
But I understand. You
And
see what I'm
now
saying?
maybe vibrationally the earth is erupting and responding back to what yeah, I get it.
Thank
I
you.
get it. No, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it.
So
It's aligning itself.
detaching me from this earth, I'm not a part of it. I'm trying to reconnect.
Mm.
So I had to unconnect, meaning bad practice, put it down, or
Ooh,
bad
okay.
practice corrupts good character. So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm going down a path that is not equilibrium to my soul and my core, my body, hence you get the
Mm-hmm.
diseases. And again, Dr. Sebi, have to throw his name in and again, and respect to the
Yeah.
family. Salute. You see what I'm saying? Homage
Mm-hmm.
and respect. That mindset and lifestyle, because again, he went to the world system and they
Mm-hmm.
declined him and threw him back again and again and again. But we know that story. So that's what I meant by I'm not of this world. I'm in it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not of it. My
Okay.
head is, again, when people are worrying about, oh, dream, which we all do dream, transcending my thoughts, transcend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hence, I speak, as I said, past, present, and future. I have to sometimes catch myself because
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the night
Mm-hmm.
mindset, but I like to try to, desire to enter into an infinite source. And it is possible before the listener says impossible. Because whoever says,
I think in terms of, there are some things that are very, very far-fetched, which is
mm,
I've got an S on my chest and I'm now going to fly like Superwoman. There are things that are very fly-fetched, although
it's
in spiritual
coming.
realm, in dark spiritual realm, as well as some may
Yes,
argue the light, people astral travel all the time.
yes. And it's
So I
coming.
think, right? So I think when
It's
we speak
coming.
about the impossible or what's not
Mhm,
possible, we have already come to an understanding that we are purely projected from our own limitations
mhm,
and
mhm,
viewpoint.
mhm.
So of course what you say is possible.
Of course, of course, of course, of
Yeah,
course.
I think it's, so even, I could be your sister, your partner, your
Mhm,
mother, and I could
mhm,
have a view on you, but that's
mhm.
based on my understanding, my interpretation of my view and limitations of the individual. So it's what we do to each other, which is life, you
And the
know?
mantra is treat others as like to be treated, love thyself, and the rest of the rest of the rest of
Mhm,
the rest, you know, and
mhm,
you
mhm.
know, words are just thrown loosely now, and
All right.
hence, you
All
know,
right. So
but
let
yeah,
me
in the world but
slide.
not of
Sorry,
the
my
world.
bad. Go on. Sorry,
No,
repeat that,
say I'm
please.
just in closing, just to say, in the world but not of the world. I move about, do what I do. I don't let what bothers one person, or I can identify like used to be concerning of the world, the material things of external things. I'm more now internal. That's all, in a
See,
nutshell.
I accept that and I acknowledge that and I respect that. However, let me put a little bit spice. I'm going to leave it alone.
Please, man.
Yeah.
Need it, man. Need it, sister.
However, it's a very tricky one,
Mm,
because if I say I'm of the world, no,
mhm,
I'm in the world, but not of the world,
mhm,
wouldn't my Hercules heel show for itself that there's elements
mhm.
about thyself that fumble whilst in this world?
Yes.
For some, it
And
could be substance. Others, it could be
yes.
women. For some, it could be
Yes.
so. I would say you are still of the world, but just
Yes.
let's be honest, you are still
Mhm,
of the world because
mhm.
our experiences clearly show that.
Precisely.
Yeah,
Precisely.
whether
And
it's
that
our
is
wrongdoing, whether it's
hidden.
our incorrect choices that we've made or whatever.
Correct.
However, I
Mhm,
also accept fully that your full vibration is to elevate totally past this, and you probably got to another as a
That
state or
is
level.
right.
So I
And that
100% get that.
they go hand in hand, basically.
Yeah. Everyone
It's
has a
how we
Hercules heel. You can find
it,
somebody
mm-mm.
that I see
Is that what it
every
is?
day. A
Is
dentist
that
who tells me about my teeth, but yet they
mm-mm,
smoke.
mm-mm,
A
mm-mm,
doctor who is
mm-mm,
a surgeon, but maybe
mm-mm,
he drinks too much.
mm-mm,
A
mm-mm,
therapist who talks about
mm-mm,
relationships, but maybe she's a sex addict. That is
mm-mm.
everyone's got something
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You understand?
Absolutely.
And I see it every
Absolutely.
day, and that's the
Mhm,
beauty about being human,
mhm,
but yet
mhm.
spiritual, going through a physical human,
And
yeah, journey.
human and spiritual, that is the battle.
Yes, 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 yes,
Because
yes. The
it's
conflict of
spiritual
spirits.
eternal and
Mm-hmm.
human not eternal. Human, the flesh, it goes back to the earth, the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
That's us in an experience of this suit, these clothes that we're wearing, that we can
Mm-hmm.
identify. I mean, a nice melanin, beautiful skin. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? And I'm just appreciative of it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
Not
absolutely.
unapologetic. However, humanity and AIs and reptilians and the list goes on. Souls, authenticity, souls. So with souls now, that now you will see how that person truly is living in this world by
Mm-hmm.
their characteristics.
A
Are
hundred
they
percent.
more, again, the love of money is the root of all evil.
There you
Not the
go.
money.
Mm-hmm.
It's a commodity. So if people don't use money, what's it going to be? You can use something else. The love of something else is. But at that time, probably money was an exchanging. It wasn't the love of bartering. It's the root of all evil. Money is just an element called tree,
Yeah,
paper. That's all it is, and it has no value anyway.
a different spiritual currency, really, isn't
There
it?
you go. And it's a currency. It's a quote unquote a word. How can you elaborate or really define the word money? Money then
You
for
can't until
you
you,
can't.
you know.
Right. And is that really a word?
Well, you
But
know
that's
what it
another
is?
topic.
It may not necessarily, but clearly it is. Once it's put placed in a dictionary, you know, the system takes it as it is.
There
And
you
guess
go.
what? If you ain't got that dollar, you
There
ain't
you
got
go.
nada. So let's
So
keep
that
that rule.
goes.
And I'll just to move on from that point before we push on to the
Mhm,
next part of our talk.
mhm, mhm.
And I can see we need about 5 hours for this live, yeah. Okay. There was a video of it looks to be a wealthy man, uh,
Mhm,
based on what he was discussing.
mhm,
Who
mhm,
said, when you hear people say, which you didn't say, but it just reminds me of this. He says, when you hear people say money ain't everything,
mhm,
he said,
mhm,
what idiots actually say that? And at first I was
mhm,
like, what does he mean? But then
mhm,
he said, name me a person,
mhm,
yeah, turn it around. He
mhm.
said, you may say, he said, it's always those who are not wealthy who says that.
Precisely, it's the
Yeah.
mindset.
Think about it. Yeah. It's always
Mm,
those who want to justify what their
mhm,
position in life or their downfall
mhm,
that says
mhm.
money ain't
Yes.
everything,
Yeah, and it
especially
becomes their
relationships.
God.
But you don't
Mhm.
hear a rich man saying that. You just
No.
don't, even if he's
Mhm,
humble, because we
mhm,
already know without it,
mhm, mhm, mhm.
and it's
Social
not
support.
everything, but the reality is,
Mhm. It's a part
I
of
mean, could
everything.
you really live in your house without,
Mhm,
you know, if you never had any
mhm,
money? So
mhm, mhm,
it is what it is. But okay, let's push on. Let's push
mhm,
on.
mhm,
You
mhm,
may want
mhm.
to take a sip of something, something.
Yeah, but I was thinking about the
Yeah.
other thing, you know.
What?
There you
Did
go,
I
my
hear
man.
correctly?
Yeah, but
No, I don't think I did. Okay, so all right, so we're talking. We've just touched a little bit on eternity, faith,
mhm,
and interestingly enough, which you said when we had our pre-talk a couple of days ago,
mhm,
and I was speaking to you about doing the promo. I don't know why I always had you down as someone who was religious, and he was like,
mhm,
you know.
mhm, mhm. I
And
used
although
to.
we know that religion and
Mhm, mhm,
spirituality goes hand in
mhm,
hand for many, it doesn't for
mhm,
all.
mhm.
There are
Precisely.
a lot of religious folks that
Mhm,
don't tap into the phenomena of spirituality, which is
mhm,
surprising,
mhm,
which means they're just
mhm,
religious. So, interestingly enough, where did your touch on based on our
mhm,
time frame now? Touch
mhm,
on briefly about in regards to um, where it started from you for you, because
mhm,
I said
mhm,
religious and you said actually no, you know, it
mhm,
started there, but I'm more of a spiritual brother. I
mhm,
classify myself as a spiritual woman, even though
mhm,
I'm not religious
mhm,
necessarily.
Again, good question. I like it. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
My journey, again, I'm a pedantic man. The letter killeth and the spirit give life. And I always like clarification because I like to
Mm-hmm.
be clear and give
Yeah.
clarification when
Mm-hmm.
I'm communicating with an individual soul.
Mm-hmm.
And because of my disposition of my journey, my bespoke journey, we know
Mm-hmm.
said this world is not how it seems, it's an illusion from my perspective. Hence,
Mine
after
too.
my eyes close, I still live on eternity. But I
Mm-hmm.
had to go through a journey to renew the mind to be able to overstand what I've just said. Because if I'd have told myself or spoke about that probably 10 years ago, I'd have probably logically religiously try and get scriptures or try and get a pastor to try and break that down to me and book an
Mm-hmm.
appointment. And then they won't have time and tell me, no, that's not important right now. You need to pay your tithes or whatever you need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then the Most High, again, knows our hearts. He knows every human heart. And
Mm-hmm.
if you seek, you will find. Hence, I found and I'm here because I have been seeking. And the church element, to answer your question, is when it was through the lockdown, again, it just become mundane. So that lockdown was good for me, but it's a sour thing which will lead us into my books and so forth. But that pandemic
Yeah.
lockdown was it was peak for the
Mm-hmm.
world, for souls, so much different layers. For me,
Mm-hmm.
it was phenomenal. Every day of my life is phenomenal. Again, because it's a choice of how to look at it. Every
Yeah.
now and then you do go to the dark side and
Mm-hmm.
complain, but again, it's a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Life is as simple as
Mm-hmm.
it is. It's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, you should know them by their fruit. So, if one claims that they're walking in the true living light, you can't fake the love of God, the joy of the Lord. You can't fake it. I know tears and we grow together, and hence we've got the religion. Again, religion is man-made, stemmed of plagiarism of the scriptures that have been written through different philosophical
Mm-hmm.
doctrines. Hence, they didn't teach us about Enoch,
So
Maccabee.
let me fine tune that a little bit.
Mhm,
So also not only for myself but for some viewers that may want to
mhm,
watch this back.
mhm,
Let's fine tune what you think that for you the
mhm.
difference between religion for
Okay.
you and
Yeah.
spirituality, because we're
Yeah.
speaking about you as an individual here.
Yes. Religion is man-made. Everything this world is indoctrinated. That's religion. Everything. From all the denominations. That's my opinion. That's all to do with
So
religion.
you regularly still go to church, right, for
No, no,
fellowship?
no, I don't go into the buildings.
Oh,
Religion is
you
the way.
don't? Okay, so you're for real.
I don't set foot in there. I will go if
Since when?
when the lockdown went down and when it came back out again. Unless I've been invited, I don't have no reason to go there. I'm not a member
So are
of a
you seeing
building.
it like you are the church, you are the temple, and then
Right. We are having church
right?
right. We're having church
Right.
right now.
So in terms of the fellowship, because I always said to
I do
people,
miss that. I do miss that. I
is there a
do
reason
miss
why you're not going to church for fellowship then if you actually
that.
still
The
feel
reason
that
why I'm
vibration?
saying because it's not a place that's conducive for my spirit right now. What I've seen, how they came out of pandemic and adhering to the ecumenical contract that they've signed
Mm.
to eloquently indoctrinate naive souls. Hence, a lot of people I've met on my journey to be talking like this have been bruised by the misrepresentation of quote unquote religion and church and whatever denomination I come from. Quite
Many.
so for me to hear that, I have as well, but I managed it differently because me is different. We're all different. But
So
to
let me.
hear
Mhm.
it grieves me, man. It grieves. That's why the
Is that
word
is
says
that your particular church you used to go to, or church in
no,
a whole?
church in a whole,
Okay, that's how you feel.
the whole
Okay.
organization, man. Hence, they're all ecumenical. 5.1, I think, or something. Seen, they've all got a little change. It's ecumenical. It's
So
of
let me
this world.
ask you a question.
Mhm.
Considering, if I'm correct, you were a
Mhm.
frequent goer, visitor
Yes, man.
of the
Yeah,
temple,
man.
yeah?
Yeah, man.
For those who were there and you
Mhm.
suddenly didn't come back anymore, did they see it as, oh, Chris has backslidden?
The usual.
Okay, so that gives me full understanding now of where you're going with it. Yeah, because like I said, I'm spiritual.
Right.
I may apply mild and margin biblical
Yes.
terms scripturally to my life.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Um,
man.
yeah,
That's
so
good.
I'm liking your balance. I didn't actually know you felt that way, so this has brought some
A
new
lot
light
of
to
people
me.
don't. That's what I'm saying. A lot of
You
people
don't
don't
walk
until
and talk, which is good. You live. You're about it. You're living it.
done.
Yeah, done.
And
Yeah.
take it to God and me and you get it biblically because then I want to take your heart and what you're doing behind closed doors.
Why has your volume suddenly changed?
Because I get passionate about this one.
No, the
So,
volume changed. Now it's coming back. Okay,
oh,
right. All right. Okay, so that covers that part. So before we go on and
mhm,
slowly touch on a couple more elements of this talk as we slowly wind it down,
mhm.
I think we're going to need to bring Chris back on for sure, as I said again. Let me go into the comments, and I think with this type of talk, I think I need to actually visit more comments because it's interactive to the points he's making, and there's a lot that Chris has given us today. Yeah. All
Tip.
right. So let me put on my 2020.
Yeah, man. Tip.
All right. Oh, Jay, our spokesperson, did touch on the whole money. Okay, isn't everything topic? Okay, okay. Um, Jay's telling me to leave the camera alone.
Boy, no comment.
Oh my God, because he looks wonky from my position, and now
There
he's
you
then he's giving me a
go.
smiley face
Hence,
laughing. Yeah, I have to
no
pull your
comment.
cheeks for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
your
Creative
comment.
says that they're too damn fake. So I think she's in relation to what you're speaking about, the churches and stuff. Yeah,
It's kind of like the Pharisees and the Sadducees, as the books, the
yeah.
66 books spoke about, those that are very
Hmm.
highly educated, those that's very highly, yeah, educated. The nice
Yeah.
little words.
And Creative
Excuse
says
me.
also start your own church in your yard.
Yeah, that's what we're doing now, man.
In your yard.
Church is a
Yeah.
building. It's
Selling the
not made by
soul, she
man.
says.
Yeah, man. It's
Oh,
not made by
let's go
man's
back.
hands.
Go back, camera. Selling the soul, she says. I'm
Yeah,
trying to.
man.
This I hate when it doesn't allow me to.
Because they've gone too far up and it takes time to create.
Yeah, Jay says from We UK says it may not be for us, but it has helped many.
Oh, yes, yes. I'm not disputing that. I'm not
Yeah,
disputing that.
there are
I've
some
never
good people
disputed
in
that.
church, Creative says, and it's
Yeah,
about the heart,
man.
Creative says.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I totally agree with that. But
Mm-hmm.
listen, what it represents.
Oh, Jay says we have to be easy with our choice of words in regards to religious buildings. Oh, praise
Excuse me?
or worship, as there will
No.
be people generally in a what not great place who find solace in them same places. Well, I'm surprised at your response, Jay. That's very reflective.
I like
Oh,
that.
are
But
you one of
hear
those
what?
people, Jay? You one of those people? Let
Hear
us
what?
know.
I love that answer. And I love that.
Yeah, I
This is
too.
the
I'm very
reason why.
surprised by it, actually.
This is the reason why
Very good answer.
my soul would
Yeah.
unequivocally speak what thus saith the Lord, give thus to
Mm-hmm.
speak at this appointed pre-timing, because there are
Mm-hmm.
many people who are dying silently due
Yes.
to the
Mm.
misrepresentation of quote unquote church
Yeah.
attendance.
Absolutely. Let me read what he
Done.
said in response. And by the way, guys, I'm taking my glasses on and off because it leaves the ring around my lighting. It reflects in
Oh.
my glasses, and when you watch it back, you're going to be seeing two bright lights. Yeah. So that's why I take them off. Okay. So what did Jay say? He said some people don't have a heart. Yeah. Genuinely, some people are just different. Creative says, not the church. Okay. So that's that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
interesting.
basically,
But
in a nutshell, to metaphorically speak to help the listeners there. It's like you're saying you're going to hospital.
Jay says
You go to
I'm not
hospital,
religious
and
at
you come out.
all.
Do
Yeah,
you go to hospital, the pharmaceutical, and you come out more sicker, or do you do a Dr. Sebi investigation?
it
Oh,
depends
I
on
bet
who
that's
you
it.
are. It
No,
depends on who you are. And guess what? In some cases, Both can work. It just
I
you know,
know.
depend on the doctor. Because even though
No, they do
I
work.
seek to even bring non-conventional people on this
Yeah,
live, herbalists and people
yeah,
like that. I'm
yeah,
really looking for.
yeah.
However, interestingly enough, depending on the doctor you find, you may find that what he says leads you to something else if he's Western, and then
Yes,
you go and do your root search, and you
there
may
you
be able to
go.
combine the two,
Yes,
you
that's how
know,
they go
or
hand
even
in hand.
counteract by what you don't agree
Yes,
with the Western doctor.
yes,
That can work as
yes.
well. You know,
And
let's see what Jay has to say.
in
Yeah,
that, it's supposed to come out better, not bitter.
yeah. Hmm.
They come out
So
better.
Jay says true. So we should state there has been a manipulation. Oh, misrepresentation. I couldn't
Patient.
even say the
Yes.
word, yeah,
Yeah,
of the church.
misrepresentation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So Creator says,
Definition of character.
lastly, we are the church, and when
Yep.
we are one with God,
Yep.
okay, we are
Yep.
one with others. That is very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, man. Because it's called harmony. Because we're all
Mm,
thinking about the same creator that created us all. That
yeah.
ego gets put to the side.
Hmm. Creative
You
also
know?
says, but I still believe in church. It's about what you
Yes.
take from it and why you are
Yes. Yes.
going.
Yes, man. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
All right.
man.
So thank you for the interactiveness,
Yeah,
guys. That's
man.
brilliant.
Lovely.
Okay. So listen, I've got this live ain't done in before we touch on your three marriages. The
Whenever you're
unconditional
ready,
I
man.
do, I do, I do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, the
Ain't
man
gonna
who
be
believes
about
in
it.
love.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Yeah. Jay,
Agape.
tie up your nutty for this one. Okay. Yeah. And get close to the screen because we're going to talk about marriages. Okay. Right. All right. So, as a spiritual, a
Mm-hmm.
Christian reflective now, brother,
Mm-hmm.
would this be the main reason why you've been pretty faithful to the word in terms of marrying and
Mm-hmm.
marriages? Because you've had three marriages, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which tells me you believe in love, you subscribe to love,
Mm-hmm.
and and marriage and that
Mm-hmm.
covenant. Yeah,
Covenant.
yeah,
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
Let me ask you one key question for myself before I proceed.
Mm-hmm.
Did you write your own vows for any of these marriages?
Um, the third, not the
Okay. Do you
second.
know
The
where I'm going with
second.
this, guys? Yeah, it's always intrigued me, and I've said this on multiple posts, and I probably go on to
Mm-hmm.
say it a lot more,
Mm-hmm.
which is, people, subscribe, which is
Mm-hmm.
fine, to
Mm-hmm.
the written, the pre-scripted
Mm-hmm.
vows that people exchange,
Mm-hmm.
but they
Mm-hmm.
exchange the same ones in multiple weddings, which always
Mm-hmm.
bemuses me because it
Mm-hmm.
does say to death do us part, but they've had
Mm-hmm.
multiple divorces and then they've gone to repeat the same vows of other
Mm-hmm.
people. Again, it
Mm-hmm.
bemuses me.
Mm-hmm.
Had I gone through that porthole, I would
Mm-hmm.
always write my own because it would be genuine to who I truly am. It would be, I endeavor to until death do us part. Because endeavor just means I try to, I intend, but there's no swearing to that covenant. So tell us a
Mm-hmm.
little bit about that. I've always been intrigued, and
What
tell us
happens in
about,
life?
yeah, how what you feel
What
about that.
happens in life for me and what I've been and will continue experiencing until my last breath, until eternity, if
Mhm.
you are not true to your soul in whatever you speak and say and try, even if you do quote put endeavor, it's never guaranteed that
That's
it
why
will.
that's why my words are specific. That's why it says
Right.
endeavor. If I say I
No, hold
endeavor
on.
to call
I've
you
been
back
hustling.
today and I don't call, you can't be
So,
upset because endeavor means there
no,
was no
you can't.
commitment.
No, hold on, hold on.
Come on.
You cannot tell another so they cannot be upset. What would be better to say is, it will
Mhm.
be unfruitful for you to get yourself out of choice to be upset when I've already pre-warned you. I might not
I
be
wouldn't
able
even
to
give that
cope.
long explanation. In
I
my
know,
head,
I
you
know,
already
I
know I use
know.
the word.
Thank
Go
you.
research the word. But
Right,
that is
that's my
what you
point.
just said is a very respectable response.
Of course,
I wouldn't invest because
in
my
my head.
my words are usually very literal, unless I say
Right,
I'm joking. Yeah.
right. This
So
is right.
endeavor.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Listen, listen. All I know is that my journey and amazing experience through the pain
Hmm.
and the growth of those three experiences of being married three times, which the first time I never believed I would get to 30. I
Of
had
course,
in
of
my head
course.
was the one
Of course,
growing
of
up,
course.
the one. As I said, before I came to this an awareness or awokenness, be true to your soul, not just mantras. So you have to start living it now. And then here we are present.
It's very Hollywood though. It's I in my UK experience, it's rare for me to come across a young brother such as yourself who's been married 3 times. And I'm not saying there's any flaw in that, but it's very
Mhm.
Hollywood. We expect that from, States, and you know what I'm gonna say, to be honest, it's quite rare.
Wow.
So
Wow.
in one good way, your brother who don't mind, who ain't scared of a ring, to propose. I mean, did you
Yeah,
propose three
man.
times or did any of
Yeah,
them propose
man.
to
No,
you?
no, no, man. I mean, yeah, man. 3 time over, man. You
So
know,
did you
and
decide on
again,
go on?
it was a journey. It's been a journey. And, you know, I think the reason why it happened 3 times, because as going through the healing, I was, like you say, available and I didn't give up in love, basically. And then I put
But let me ask you
obviously,
a key question. I'm sorry to interrupt your flow
no,
on that,
no,
but I
no.
want to home in on that word
Yeah, yeah,
available. Yeah,
yeah.
let's get a little bit closer.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right.
Hmm.
A lot of things can be misinterpreted. That's
Hmm.
human nature. The outside, what
Correct.
they think is happening with either
Hmm.
of us in life.
Hmm.
Yeah, any of us in life.
Hmm.
So I know someone, Caucasian, he's older than yourself, myself, a little bit,
Hmm.
and he's
Hmm.
had multiple weddings, and he believes in love as a happy-go-lucky, beautiful spirit. And with him, and I won't say you because I don't know, with him, I have stronger feeling that he just does not know how to be by himself.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
often, and
Hmm.
that's not gender
No,
specific,
no,
guys.
no, 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 no.
Often
Hmm.
when you see individuals,
Hmm.
often, especially if they go
Hmm.
from one to another and one to
Hmm.
another and one without a space to
Hmm.
really breathe,
Hmm.
that is often a telltale sign, not just for someone who believes in love, but literally in love with the idea of being in love more
Yes,
so,
yes.
but
Yeah, man.
cannot be by themselves. I have a
Yeah,
sibling
yeah,
who's like that.
yeah,
Everyone's
yeah.
the one.
Hmm.
Everyone is the one because he ain't the one who could be by
Hmm.
himself.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
actually
I
feel like
love my company, man.
I'm close to people I know of
Hmm.
who on the outside, you're rating
Hmm.
their relationship. Oh my God, you've been together forever, but
Hmm.
go closer. I'm not trying to pick
Hmm.
fault, but as a
No, no.
reference of
Hmm.
reflectivity so we can learn from
Hmm.
that. Sometimes you
Absolutely.
are harboring, you are homing in,
Hmm.
whether it's jealousy is not a good thing, but
Hmm.
reflectivity can be a good thing on
Hmm.
someone's relationship, and you have no idea that that person just don't know how to be one with self and date themselves.
Hmm. Hmm. And they're probably
So
in a
going
nasty
home and
relationship.
spending time by themselves, it's like
Hmm.
this. The walls are speaking too much
Yeah,
truth, and it's
yeah.
very loud when you're
Uh,
on your own.
and
But
the
I love that.
pandemic
I'm a
lockdown did
weirdo like
that.
that.
No, no. And the pandemic lockdown did that for a lot of souls. Because
And
when
I
I
was
see them
grateful
come
because
out,
I was always on
mhm,
lockdown. I'm always this,
likewise, I was
I
a
dig it.
lockdown. Uh, exactly, it's a minor. It's
You
not to me,
understand?
you know. But again, like I said, to reiterate, I like fellowship. That's with the body of Christ, and I
Mm-hmm.
like companion,
Mm-hmm.
covenant,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
family. You
Yeah.
know, as the Eurocentric calls it, the nuclear family, or as the
Mm-hmm.
Africans, a tribe with a
But the
community.
question is,
Hmm.
are you a gentleman
Hmm.
that
Do you
loves
think so?
love
Yes,
and the
agree.
covenant of I'm not into this fornication because of what I believe biblically as well as spiritually? Or is it a case of, you know what? I just don't want to, I can't deal with self by myself.
No, no, no. I love self. It's all of the
And I
latter.
don't see that as a flaw because we all
Of
got
course
something
not.
to work on.
Everybody's got something to work on.
Mhm,
Mine is all about
mhm,
covenant, and me and the woman become one, and she got her purpose, I got my purpose, but we still was
mhm.
as one.
And you come together. But
Yeah.
biblically, am I
Yeah.
not correct in thinking, and I'm not big on biblical references,
Mm-hmm.
but this one I believe I remember from very young. Are we
Hmm.
not supposed to be divorcing unless our partner has passed on?
Hmm.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. But in that correctness, again, which people always do, even I've done it times,
Okay.
don't read the context of
Sorry.
the whole chapter, of the narrative of what that particular implementation of law was applied to, of cultural people. So the letter killeth. So people, again, take a context scripture and then try to apply whatever they interpret it, or they read the old thing, misinterpret it, and try and equivalent it to present. And
So are you then
fundamentally,
saying that we can then say, you know what, that was 2022, I'm interpreting it different
no, it's
now?
all
Is that what we're
applicable now.
saying?
It's all applicable now, but it's all about principle. Because again, when people are in relationships, then again, behind closed doors, nobody
You
don't know
don't
what's
know.
really happening
Hmm.
in there.
Hmm.
You could quote, okay, you'd be quoting, looking the beeswax, and then what goes in the dark comes out in the light. Because when
Absolutely,
judgment
sir.
comes for this entire
Yeah.
world,
Hmm.
no matter if you're married or unmarried, your behavior and thoughts of the breath that you breathe will be judged. Simple.
So
In
let me
other words,
ask you two. We ask you two words that is not biblical term, then. So at least
Mhm,
on a humane reflectivity, you know, people can
mhm,
relate as well.
mhm,
All right. So within those three experiences, because obviously it's
mhm,
personal, I'm not going to ask you to
mhm,
relate anything personal that will affect
mhm,
the person you were married to, respect and
mhm,
everything.
mhm.
But what I will
Absolutely.
ask you is, within those three experiences,
Mhm,
without us pointing fingers of who this and
mhm,
who's wrong and who's right,
mhm, mhm.
what would you say you learned from that? And is there anything you would do differently?
Oh, absolutely. There's a whole lot of things I do differently, but I learned so
Hmm.
much from each three individuals.
Hmm. Well, we do.
Mannerism,
Of course, we would. You would. Yeah.
some people do. And I mean, I learned from them, i.e., their attitude towards what they do and what they want to achieve, or their boundaries of doing certain things, or the integral way of how they carry themselves, or how they view
But what
life.
did you learn as a soul? And the reason why
Right.
I'm saying that to you, because
Right.
if
What
I
I
date with
learned,
1,000 men, there's gonna be everything
no,
I can pinpoint
what
from
I
those
learned,
1,000 men. So what did
one,
you learn as a soul from
one,
these three
one
experiences?
was about the entrepreneurial mindset, integrity,
Okay.
and being still. I've always been a still person, but you can always
Hmm.
be stiller.
Hmm. Oh my God, yeah. Yes, yes,
So
yes. Talk it.
integrity,
Hmm.
entrepreneurial mindset, business, and being still.
Hmm. You
That's the
learned that
thing.
from your three relationships, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
plenty more. I can go even deeper, but
No,
the-
okay, okay. What would you do differently? Before I ask that, would you remarry a fourth time?
boy.
I'm going to ask the Julius to close down the shops, you know, at this point. No more rings for you, no, no.
No, either
Yeah.
way, man.
Let's
Either way,
put a hood
I go another
instead.
country and then have multiples. Then when it's the whole country and culture, that joke. Exactly. No,
That was very
what would
flesh
be?
response. No,
You
no.
understand
So,
that?
would you
What would
marry a
you do?
fourth time? Let me sit back for
Yeah,
this one, yeah.
yeah, yeah. It seems so. It seems so. 2023 seems the way,
Is
man.
there, would you say, is there a limit for you?
Um,
In all realisticness, is there a
yeah,
limit
there
for you
is
where
a
you be
limit.
like, okay, you know
There
what?
is a limit. There is a limit, and this is the limit. Because I'm tired of, you know, because I'm basically, this is the limit. This is this conversation about the topic. This is the limit because it keeps coming
Mhm.
back to me. So if it keeps coming back to me,
Okay.
this is the limit then. Because after
So,
this,
how many marriages would you have?
this is it. If this will be the fourth and nothing after.
So the fourth and nothing after. So that then means if the fourth doesn't work out, which it will, let's speak
Mhm.
positively, yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay. That means you're willing to be what? Live out of the covenant? Because you know fornication doesn't go with,
Oh yeah,
you see
yeah,
where I'm
yeah.
going with all of this?
Yeah.
Bible
No,
scripture
I
said
hold it down.
that.
I don't need to be rushing and pressing and man, take time and yeah, man. What am I rushing for? Take time, man. Get to know,
Mhm.
befriend. You see what I'm saying? It's about
Ladies,
healing. Get
don't rush my inbox at once. I know him personally. If you're very nice to me, I can maybe hook you up. Yeah. I know he's
don't get me.
chocolate and beautiful and stuff. Yeah, but ladies, take time, okay? Let's go to some comments. I love
No,
you,
man.
Chris.
I'm always feeling a shivery. I'm healing. I'm healed. I'm healing.
Yeah,
Healing. I'm better. I'm not
yeah.
bitter.
Hmm.
And if that opportunity comes and when it comes, it's what I'm saying. It's all about befriending, man, because I don't
Ooh,
have
we've got a
time
lot
to
of
waste.
comments there for you, you know.
Oh no.
No, but you know what? This will make a great book for your third one. We'll talk about
I'm
that later.
listen, I'm on my fourth one
Yeah.
already. I'm just
Yeah,
jotting them
not as
down
no
as we
relationship
need.
coach, that's for sure. Let's not even get into all of that. But,
No,
we're
no, no,
writing
no. See,
experience. But let's
see.
go into what people have to say. All right.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So if I missed some of your comments about church,
Mhm.
guys, I know we've moved on a little bit. Oh God, I'm trying to find all my comments.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't want to
If you've
miss
been
any.
married 3 times
When
and
when
since
you're
that,
scrolling it, sometimes it doubles up and then some
yeah,
go
exactly. So
unseen.
that's
I
what
don't know
I'm
if you guys can
seeing.
see it on your side. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I can see some interaction here.
yeah, man. It says when you're married 3 times or something.
If you get married, you stay married, right? Jay, what
Yeah,
Jay? You see, Jay,
of
when you ready
course,
to do a live with me,
of course.
Yeah. When you ready to do a live with me, Jay, I got some questions for you, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, of course.
Could you
And
see?
with
I
your
do.
area, of
It's a beautiful thing because I like opinionated
course.
people. I like people
I love it.
that's
Listen, I
interactive. I
love
love
it.
it.
I love it
So let's
because
go back. Let's go back. I see a whole dialogue here. Yeah.
mm,
Okay. So creative said, "Why did you get married?" Let's do some fire questions. Why did you
why,
get married, Chris?
why did I get married? Because I've always desired to be in the covenant of marriage
Okay.
and relationship and family, not the
Okay.
shack
So
up.
that answers that.
Simple.
Okay.
Everything of my life is about a Hebrew Israelite covenant of the Most High
Mhm.
principles. Simple. I desired it, I tried it out, and I flopped. Simple. Done.
Mhm.
But that's in one part of a life of a visual, i.e., marriage. There's many other things that people do hidden and don't marry, but it's dirtier than marriage.
100%.
So this is what I'm saying. So people can always
100%.
speak strengths on their strengths, but life should
I was
be
going to say
spoken
that as
about.
well, actually. The
Where
fact that
don't people speak about their weaknesses?
that's right.
And
That's right.
this is
That's
where
right.
religion comes in. So this is why anything
Yeah.
anybody said to me, I said, yeah, that's nice. I agree, but I know what I'm doing now.
No, good for you. Okay, so we says marriage is an institution, it's a business, of sorts. It's a contract binding two people and making them one in the eyes of the law. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Jay, you also said somewhere, but I'm going to try and find it, that if you get married, there's no divorce, basically.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have a
yeah, yeah.
friend who said that, and I
Mm-hmm.
said to him, he's not being realistic. Hear me out, but I want you to answer that. Yeah, I'm going to get to that
Mm-hmm.
at the bottom of
Yeah,
your. I know
yeah,
I
yeah,
read
yeah.
it somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you say there's no divorce,
Mm-hmm.
we need to remember something, people.
Mm-hmm.
If I get up today and say I'm not going gym today, it only affects me.
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm-hmm.
you're building life with somebody, you can't speak for that person.
Literally.
Okay, so this is where I say people are delusional in relationships. I really do. Like, oh,
Literally.
my partner would never do that. You can't speak for nobody. You
Thank
cannot put your hand
you.
in fire for nobody. That's
Thank
why you have
you.
two that becomes one, but really you still
What?
have your individual head. Okay,
Correct.
so when you say there's no divorce,
100,
you'd have
man.
to marry yourself to guarantee that.
So you become better, not
That's
bitter.
why I love these topics. It's a whole other conversation, but you have to marry yourself to
Mm-mm-mm.
guarantee it. Now, I have a friend, an acquaintance, I should really call him, and he was solid on this. And I looked
That's
at him
good.
and I said, don't hurt yourself.
That's good. Exactly.
And you know
That's good.
what? The wife ran where? She come back,
So
she
said,
ran
so
where? She
done.
come back, she ran where? Because when he
Yes,
said
yes, yes.
there's no divorce, he meant till death do us part. And
Yeah,
I'm just glad that she's still alive. You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah, yeah, man. So
He
she
took
know
that
where to
literal. Do
protect
you
it.
understand? You
Yeah, man.
cannot speak for somebody else when you say
Mm.
I do.
Unequivocally.
Everyone's seriousness and commitment. Some people's are literal. I do till
Yes.
death do us
Yeah.
part, and they would actually
Even if
decease
it's
their
even if
partner,
it's
and everyone's died at
toxic.
one time. They mean
Even
this
if it's
thing.
toxic. Yeah, man. Even
Okay,
if it's
so
toxic.
let's be realistic, people. That
Mm-hmm.
you can commit to you, but you
Mm-hmm.
cannot swear for any. In the minute you interact your heart, your soul, your life
Mm-hmm.
with anybody else,
Mm-hmm.
they don't owe you that same commitment that came out their
Mm-hmm.
mouth in action. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why I don't ever expect from anyone outside of myself. I have desires, but I don't expect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
some people are now marrying themselves. They're tackling their own finger, and I'm down for it because you can only truly have that. You can't really divorce yourself unless you decide to take your own life. There's no divorcing yourself. Yeah, but that's a whole nother. But do you see what I mean? Let me know your thoughts on what I just said, guys.
Yeah.
All right, so let's
Over
go
50
on to Jay's
years. Yeah.
next
So
comment.
yeah, many examples,
Okay,
man.
so
Over 50
so
years.
marriage, he says, it should be respected and held in the highest regards. Absolutely,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
absolutely. And you know,
Absolutely.
everyone's emotional availability is at
It's
different
different.
depths.
Exactly.
Emotional availability. Many are
Right.
single but not emotionally
Right.
available.
And if we talk about marriage, I'm sure the Lord
You
says
know,
you don't fornicate before marriage. People will have picnic, then get
I'm
married.
testing, I'm test driving this thing. Go my history. I can't risk that. On my history, I need free trials.
Right.
No, but good luck to those who can take that risk, and it's all about
Yeah.
love no matter
Yeah.
what. You know?
Same.
Okay.
Some,
Uh
some, some of us.
Lipsy, my sister says Jay is on a roll today. I
Yeah,
like the
man.
interaction between them two right now.
Yeah, man. I
Go
love it, man.
on,
I
big
love
up
it.
yourself, he says to Jay.
Yeah, man. All the way,
Big up
man. All the way.
yourself as well, sis, and Jay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Jay then says the whole getting married and then divorce is making and had made a mockery of marriage. Absolutely. That's why, you know,
Yes, yes,
Hollywood, very hot. But
yes.
like I say,
Mm.
you know, wisdom has taught me that as
Mm. Teach them.
opinionated and fixated as I can be with my ideals,
Teach them.
life has poked me in the back, in the rib,
Thank
and pushed me
you.
down on the floor with my face
Thank
in the mud.
you.
I'm not going to
Thank
lie,
you.
many
Me
times,
too. Come
and all
on, man.
hats come off at the same time and glasses too. I
Thank
don't know
you.
what's going
Thank
on.
you.
And then I readjust my
Ah,
ideal. I've had to because facts,
listen.
wisdom has
Thank
taught me that
you.
the ideal butterfly when you're sketching in a beautiful painting, life
Right.
don't always gossip,
No,
which
of course
means
it
that
doesn't.
although it seems like a mockery because I have chosen not to go through
Mm,
any marriages that I've been
mm,
proposed to,
mm,
proposals, yeah.
mm,
However, had I married that individual,
mm,
there's a highly potential outcome that
mm,
I would have to have divorced him.
mm,
Like I did
mm,
leave, like as I had left the person, so I would have naturally
mm,
divorced them. So does that
mm,
mean then, if I had that perfection of only one marriage,
mm, mm.
I'd be now never, ever, 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 ever open to being anyone because I would have already been married once before.
Mm. And in the marriage,
You
remember,
know?
in the context of quote, quote, church Bible, again, like I said, I reiterate,
Hmm.
many people were not virgins before they were married.
Yeah,
They
that's
broke the
true. But then
covenant
wasn't it not
already.
some of the disciples and them not poking around in some of these women?
Right. Before you tested it. You
Yeah.
lost your virginity, the life goes
Well, there
on.
you go. And
You know what I'm
and
saying?
Lipsy 94, my sister says, well, according to the Bible, we can only get divorced if the other person commits adultery.
Right,
Or dies. Yeah, that will passes
right.
away. Correct?
Now,
Okay.
again, that was a
Mm-hmm.
condition in that culture, not
Mm-hmm.
present. You see what I'm saying? Because again, if present, again, that was a
Mm-hmm.
scenario. That's like saying if a woman's been beaten, you can't get divorced because the man don't. He's not adulterer. I was an adulterer. I slipped. But if a man's beating up a woman,
Yeah.
paying up everything, but I'm the adulterer. I've done it. You know what I'm saying? Been done to me. What she can't divorce him, or then you can't divorce him.
I grew with somebody who on her wedding day,
Mhm.
it was the first slap she got from the man.
Right.
And no
But
matter what
because
she went through, he abused her child,
right,
child sexually
that's
too.
root
And
for
they're still talking about
divorce.
you shouldn't divorce him because of the church.
Right. That's root for
The
divorce.
things she had
What?
to run away, go into a refuge, change her children's name and everything.
Come
That's a whole
on.
other story.
But
So
then
I think, yeah.
church
And
will
he was
tell
a
you,
church brother, but he
of
actually said
course,
one
of
day that he's not,
course, of
yeah,
course, of
yeah,
course. And then they'll tell you, go and pray, go and
yeah.
pray, go and pray, go and fast. Oh, a praying wife will win off their husband. I've heard too many testimonies. I've
Mm.
met too many souls, man and woman,
I
that done
appreciate your balance.
deliver.
You know, I didn't know you was as balanced as this, Kristen, this ideal. So I'm glad I'm having this conversation with you. See, it's good to
I see
talk. So
both
it's got,
sides, man.
yeah, see, good not to judge. So Jay goes on to say relationships of any sorts are casual if you're not into the whole, okay, church wedding ting, then you create a ceremony of your own. Are you saying the church wedding thing's a joke or the fact that am I misreading that? If you don't mind elaborate a little bit, or do you mean
People are marrying them dog. This
well, people are
world
marrying
is
trees and horses.
right,
It's ridiculous out here. So, look, yeah,
right,
don't even go there right now. And
right.
then Jay says to Lipsy, I hear that. However, okay, maybe I should leave that between you two. All right.
Yeah, but let them
All
two
right.
like,
Okay.
let's go.
Okay, let me see. Let me see. Earth says, if you have been married 3 times, how can we really take you seriously? Oh,
I don't expect no one
I
to
need some
take me
fire in the booth.
seriously.
Come on.
I don't
How
expect no
can I
one
take
to
you?
take me
Wait, wait, wait. How
seriously.
can I take you seriously?
Hold on. Let me answer that. Let me answer
Can
that
I finish your
question.
sentence though? Then you can finish. Yeah,
Okay.
please. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go
she
for it.
said, if you've been married 3 times, how can we take you seriously or your truth when you've been married 3 times? Did he propose to you, first of all?
You've answered my question then. Game over.
Did he propose
Game
to you?
over.
Are you considering being taken serious? I don't know.
Game over.
Uh,
Because at the end of the day, my truth is
did he propose
unequivocally.
to you? I'm just,
It is. So
I don't understand if you were
it's,
this is a dating show and you're like, I'm looking for a new woman, wife number 4, but I didn't even know he brought out the
I
ring
don't offer or go out
to you, baby, you know?
projecting. And secondly, my truth of a bespoke experience is unequivocal to the point that regardless of who believes or don't believe, I've lived it, I'm speaking. I
All
have no
right.
reason to air out
Hmm.
fluffy stuff.
I hear you. I
I'm
hear
airing
you.
out raw, personal, testimonial stuff where I was accountable as well. Doesn't mean I didn't try. You
So I really
understand?
something at the bottom. My bad. My bad. Well,
So
Creative says the
my
man loves
advice
love.
is
You
valid to
understand?
anybody who chooses to pick sense from nonsense.
Hmm. Well,
But yeah,
Chris,
like you said, I have
Creative
put
says
myself
the
into
man
nobody.
loves love. You understand?
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
And Jay says no. Yeah. Because I'm imagining how Jay talks. So the
Yeah, yeah,
furthest.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
know.
Mr. Charming.
Africans. Yeah.
No. No, he ain't. It's Caribbean. You better believe it.
No, no, I know. I
Dominican,
see
true and true.
Africans. I
Dominican,
see
Jamaican.
Africans in the
Yeah.
village.
It says no. Dot,
Right.
dot, 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 dot. Okay?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't hope it will work. You must know it will work. You forgot to say mislining. Yeah, he talks to me. Yeah.
Right.
Why? Because you
Right.
won't stop working. I love your conviction. And there
Correct.
are some people in this universe that truly vibrate, and the universe chooses to align that vibration in their
Thank you.
life. So I would love that to be you, Jay. But for the
Correct.
rest of us in life,
Thank
with the
you.
realism of relationships,
Thank you.
that has been many people's desires. And I'm going to tell
Right.
you now. And actually, I've got a video that I put up a few days ago when it talks about being
Mhm.
compatible, but sometimes even the demon side of you is compatible to somebody else.
Correct.
Do you understand?
100.
So sometimes work is one thing.
Mhm,
Sometimes the
mhm.
case of knowing when to retreat and surrender because it's pulling you
Correct.
down. I'll work on
Correct.
anything, but I've got to balance when it's actually drowning me.
Toxic.
There are always going to be levels. And also, I would say, um, I would also say that you can be someone like me that has a backbone, solid
Mhm.
in what you
Mhm,
decide
mhm,
to do. Because I'm solid. I've
mhm,
never
mhm,
been accused of anything other.
mhm,
If you
mhm,
see the other person isn't built
mhm.
like you or more
There you go.
advanced, it
Mhm.
won't work.
Literally.
Do you understand? So you
Mhm,
could be like, I will go to therapy.
mhm,
There's nothing I would do to elevate with someone I'm with.
mhm.
But if
Of
I'm the
course.
one that's constantly driving the ship, I may just throw you overboard and keep driving the ship because I'm doing it on my own
But
anyway.
you're not meant to do that.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying metaphorically speaking,
And you
hey,
said the key word.
yeah.
Life has a way that you don't want to let go when you're supposed to let go because of pride or to death do us part or endeavor. And it gets more toxic, gets more toxic, gets more toxic. But
Wait,
everybody
James,
goes,
come back for you.
yeah, man, I'm ready, man. Bring it, man. I'm
Jason,
ready.
you know what, Jay? I'm loving that you're on my live today. It's so interactive,
Mhm.
guys. I appreciate you all. Jay said you can't make a statement like that. If you need to hear
Why?
how Jay's also actually podcaster and does a lot of lives himself.
I'm glad to
Yeah,
hear it, but
so he's
why can I
very
not
yeah. I'm
speak
loving
my
his
truth?
interaction here. It's a privilege. Yeah,
Ask him, why can I not speak from my heart? Why?
you are.
No,
But
no,
okay.
why?
Can I just read what he said?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
he's a firm brother. Remember that. Yeah. All
You
right.
could have done a
You,
little more.
I'm being troublesome, guys. My bad. Yeah. All
I love
right.
it. Bring it,
He
man.
says, you can't make a statement like
Mhm,
that.
mhm,
Okay. And
mhm,
be married 3 times. You said you joined the covenant. It's
mhm,
true.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm,
You should
mhm,
have stayed married, my
mhm,
brother.
mhm, mhm.
What
Correct.
you got to
But my
say about that,
brother,
Mr. B?
again, like if you were listening keenly to
Mm-hmm.
Silver, If you're not compatible, you may think you are because you must be
Yeah,
compatible.
many of us are in the beginning, baby. You
Hold
talk
on,
to whoever else
when
comes in.
people are in marriages and they've done it once, I salute you. More glory be to the Most
No,
High.
done it once and it's healthy. Why it continues to be married? They continue to be married, not
Right.
married because they could be married.
Either
Many
way,
people are married once and it's not healthy.
but I know this. We know this. But I'm speaking to all those and your viewers and the main one who's asking the question. I salute to all the ones that's done it and it's still continuing.
That's why some people will never marry because they so fixated
Precisely.
on that even if it
Right.
goes wrong, they're going to stay.
Right. Now, I was not going to take that risk because I was
Yeah,
once had that mind.
yeah.
I chose not to and give it a try because I still desired. That
To
doesn't
make
make me
hmm
perfect or imperfect to the point of, oh, mine didn't work. Oh, it's wrong with marriage. No. Key thing you said, life has a way of dealing with you in certain areas. One person might be strong in one area and they're blossoming. Give them another topic in their weakness, and it's going to be a totally different scenario. And they
May I
can't say,
say,
well, how can you say this in this topical area where you haven't experienced yourself? You
but that's
can't
why
talk
people
about
won't experience it. That's the, I spoke to actually even younger brothers out there,
your
people, and they even a sibling of mine, and he was like, "That's why I don't do A, B, and C, D because when I
see,
do, it's the real deal." But then that's the
yeah.
thing; it's as real as it is for you. And you know
Thank
what?
you.
We know what the truth is. Relationships are never 50-50.
Literally.
There's no real spiritual or literal scale that weighs
Mm,
your hearts and intentions that you can prove it's gonna
mm,
be.
mm, mm.
And it's always one that loves more and one willing to fight more. And you're lucky, those very rare people that has
No, I'm
found
sure you've got them on your
entirety.
panel
But
now. I'm sure you've got them on your panel now. They're
yeah,
trolling. I'm
well,
sure you've got them.
listen, someone says, I can't see without my 2020 properly, but okay, Earth says, that's why you marry someone like-minded. You know, I'm going to try and put up, if I can find it again, that video I put up a few days, just yesterday, where it talks about marrying like-minded in the moment. And the gentleman's hit some real bars. He said,
Mm.
you can marry someone in your down season,
Yeah,
but you become incompatible in your high season.
literally.
That really
And-
had me go, whew.
Right,
Think
but
about that. When you meet
thank you.
someone, how many,
Right.
my parents have been married still to this day for over 50 years, sharing the same bed.
And that was
But
back in
that
those
was
days.
marriage through the black struggle. Remember, it's a different
Right,
era we're in now.
right. So how come it's not
Okay.
happening now? It's the same principle, is it not?
Well,
Covenant,
well, the thing is,
marriage.
right, married. So what I'm saying is, imagine you meet someone. That's why everyone's looking for this ride or die. I mean, it speaks volumes why people still need to be looking for that personally.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
through all the misery and you're still there and everything else that
Right.
people are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying is, you can
Mm-hmm.
marry someone or be with. Let's say marry. Let's stick to marry. Marry someone
Mm-hmm.
through your high or low season,
Mm-hmm.
and as seasons are, it's bound to change in
Mm-hmm.
every aspect of the word.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yes,
doesn't
man.
mean you're going to
You're
remain
evolving.
compatible through the other seasons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's a cycle. It could be a 10-year cycle. It can be a
Mm-hmm.
20-year cycle. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you may find, let me give you a silly example. It can be someone that you married and you were happy for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
All of a
okay,
sudden,
let's make it 10. Let me be reasonable. And then
okay.
let's say, for an example, which happens to many, let's say the man then starts to have erectile issues. Let me just be a common one, erectile
Mm-hmm.
issues. The woman
Mm-hmm.
doesn't stop loving him, but she may not. I'm going to be
Mm-hmm.
realistic. If you ask yourself, ladies on here, for those who that's your gig,
Mm-hmm.
would you be able to remain in that marriage till death do you part with absolutely no more sexual contact? Because now the husband that you married in his peak season,
Mm.
and doesn't
Limp.
mean, remember, peak don't mean, or unpeak don't mean losing money. It can mean
Yeah,
erectile.
that's it.
Okay, there are men who has
Peaceful.
craved the baby and
Mm-hmm.
they tried it all they might,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
they can't really seem to stay with that woman who can't
Yeah,
conceive, and they've come up with
yeah,
another
yeah,
plan B together.
yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Because
So
what I need is not what they need.
At that time and
So you
season.
will realize that, and this is something that I've had to really, really sit with after watching that video.
Mm,
Seasons, when you meet in that
definitely.
season, it can
Season.
last for a 10-year cycle. It doesn't
Hmm.
mean whilst
Hmm.
the seasons are shifting and your age is changing and your
Hmm.
body is changing, that things are going to
Hmm.
remain the same.
Your
You
thinking
might
pattern
find that one
changes.
gains dementia earlier than
Hmm.
anticipated or whatever. And can you
Yes.
remain there?
Yes.
Now, people may
Till
say,
death
of
do you
course I
part.
can. So death do us part. Let's be realistic. Sometimes you are not qualified in your
Thank
spirit
you.
or heart space to deal with those challenges. So it's best
Thank
you do
you.
divorce them and let someone care for them rather than you mistreat them. There's levels to
Thank
this conversation.
Come on, y'all. Come on. Real talk. I
So that's
100.
why I can't swear on anything. I would
Yeah.
say I endeavor.
Yes.
Because
100.
especially in my work field, there's too many things that I've seen that challenges people to be saying, I know forever I'm going to stay. It's
Yeah.
not realistic to talk like that.
Mm.
It's not
It's
realistic.
fickle.
I think it's realistic to have that desire, to have
Yes.
that faith.
Yes.
It's very realistic
Mhm.
to be grounded in
Mhm.
what you
Yes.
want. But
Yes.
you can't
100.
speak for someone else's cycle in
Another
your life
soul. You cannot speak for another soul.
and the cycle of the person
Oh,
you are with. It
yeah,
doesn't
yeah, yeah,
work
yeah,
that
yeah,
way.
yeah, 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 yeah. For real. 100.
So once we accept that, I think life will
Mhm.
become more accepting.
Of
So when
course,
we
man.
have to detach from people.
Right. Hence I love 3 times.
Yeah. So I hope that covers even the Miss Earth here, or who says that's why you marry a like-minded person. Yeah, in that season, and hope that season lasts forever.
Amen.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So, lastly, I hope you
Hmm.
enjoyed that, guys. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lastly, as we wind down,
Hmm.
briefly touch on how, what, and when you wrote your two books.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. Spoiler, during lockdown.
That's the
Okay.
second one. That was the second
Yeah,
one.
second one. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'd
Fly.
like you to outro us out today with
Hmm.
a piece from your
Hmm.
books.
Well, I
Yeah.
went way back. The second one called Fly, Freedom Loves
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
That was written during lockdown, in lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And that book is basically, it's all poetry, expression, um, just me and the Lord dialoguing the Most High. It's as simple as that. But in its context and categorizing for certain mindsets, because the book is eternal. The
So
book is
sorry,
eternal.
Chris. I'm just laughing at my bad, my point. I'm laughing at the comments that's coming
No,
through. I was just all love. Let's meet in the afterlife and let's see how it happened. We got one big party about what was real, what was knowledge, and what was wisdom, and they coincide. Forgive me, Chris. That's why I
no, that's
chuckled.
true.
Yeah,
That's good. That's
yeah,
good. That's the whole idea. Afterlife.
yeah.
That's what my book's about. My second one was coming from a disposition of eternity.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, a lot of it I've written with experiences when we came out of the lockdown as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've put dates, locations, of what inspired me.
Mm-hmm.
I.e., one could be I'll be in a barber shop or a wine bar
Mm-hmm.
or bus stop or anywhere or working in a school at that time
Mm-hmm.
before the lockdown, in the lockdown, and coming out of the lockdown. This book was written. There's a lot of momentarily moments inspired me to just write there and then at that time when the Lord was talking. Hence, they're eternal. Because when the titles people read, they will see that there are a lot of biblical references of
Mm-hmm.
what's been written, what I've been saying,
Mm-hmm.
or what's been said, I should say. Sorry, what's been said, and with the biblical reference to it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite ones is trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. That's Proverbs
Mm-hmm.
chapter 3, verse 5 to 7. Now, I take that literally, metaphorically, holistically. So if it tells me acknowledge him oh, trust in the Lord with all thine heart. That means I can't put my trust in nobody else, not in myself. But that is a
Okay,
gradual
so
ongoing.
let me go more into clarity of the actual
Mhm,
book.
mhm.
Yeah.
Please.
So both of them are poetry books, and they both
Mhm.
Christian and spiritual related in terms of poetry. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah. People
Yeah.
would look at it as Christianity, but yeah, because of the
So,
Bible. But you know, to help the readers, because again, the Bible point of references is not from a Christian mindset, because a Hebrew Israelite mindset is different than a religious person.
okay, so in terms of the two books, which one came out first? When was it
Practice what you
published?
preach.
When was that
Practice,
published?
practice what you preach. That came out in the um, 2020, first published under, again, unlearning to relearn from shifting from a Gregorian calendar, the 12th January to December, to renewing the mind, learning new things about the Hebrew calendar and the festives and the
Okay.
practices.
And when
And
did your second one come out? Sorry, I'm going to be
that
speeding you a little
no,
bit
no,
now
the
to get into
second
the
one
second
came
hour.
out.
Go
That
on.
came out. That was, I think, was it 2021? Or, yeah, about 2021, I think. But the first one was like 2020, and that is a 40-year memoir of my life, basically, all through
Nice. And how has the universe embraced your two books? How's it going?
Oh, it's going amazing, man. I mean, souls are being touched. People say, I didn't know. And I said, yeah, well, it's not for me to, because like I said, the universe, me, the Most High, you don't brag, you just let it speak for itself. Those that will have ears to hear will hear what the Spirit of the living God is saying. And hence, the first page of my book of Practice What You Preach, the Most High told me to put that in the first page. You know, I read that in closing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, let's hear it. Let's
Okay,
get
yeah.
into it
This
as we
one,
close
right?
this live.
This one was written and it was given to me because a birthday present in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
This poem was written. And how
Mm-hmm.
this poem came about, I asked a sister when I used to go to church in a building and fellowshipping, and I asked her to give me a birthday present. You know what I'm saying? She says, I don't know what to get this. No matter, man, anything from the heart, as long as it's from your
You
heart.
actually answered to buy you a present. That's random, but go on.
Yeah, man, it's my birthday. We celebrate with brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Random sickness. I
yeah.
can't with you, Just read the poem, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, she wrote the poem, and the poem's called Fire. And when she came back and she said, "This is what the Lord told her. This is my birthday present. This is what she
Oh,
said.
okay.
Fire. It's your choice. I have given you an ultimatum. It's up to you now to choose the way, the right road which will lead you closer to me. I
Oh,
have respect for you as a disciple of my gospel. Only a character such as yours can be used in such a way that I and only I receive all the glory in an extremely unique way. Your life is in my hands now. Do not allow others to deter you or obstruct you in the ministry to which I have called you to live, preach, and teach. Yes, you are precious in my spirit, and no one can take that away. Say I. What I have blessed, no man can curse. Thank you for obeying my voice. It's not always easy, I know. It's by my spirit and nothing else you can try will bring the same result. I love you, and when you are alone, I especially love you because you and I are in communion. And I look forward to listening to you, to bless you, my son. In closing, don't ever change. You are perfect in my sight, and that is what matters most, that I am pleased. Blessings will fall on you, just wait and see. And that was written the 17th of February, 1999.
so this was, wait, did I misunderstand something here? This was written for you by somebody else.
Yes, a birthday present.
Okay, so this is what you put that as in a public, you published this piece in your book.
Yeah, and that's the
Are they
first
aware of
thing.
that?
Yes, I asked their
Okay.
permission first before I do that. I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, so now read us. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Mhm.
Now read us something that you have written, because that's
Right,
what you are the one behind the pen that we want to hear.
right. Now, like I find,
Give us a small one now, as
I'm
time
gonna give you a
is
very short one.
ticking.
This is a short one.
Go on.
This one is called Give Strength.
Mm-hmm.
And this was written in 1998 in July. No, sorry. Yeah, July. I did Camp America. I was working in Camp America. I did Camp America. So when I was in Camp America, challenges, man. So I'm saying youth work, peer pressure. So this one is called Give Strength. When I'm weak, I look to get strength. When I'm down, I ask to be lifted up. One thing I've learned is when you give strength to others, it comes back to you. Give the strength you have inside your heart, because they say what goes around comes around. So positive breeds positive and negative produces negative. So how can you get strengthened by a negative spirit? By giving the strength we have in our hearts to those who are weak in spirit. Give strength.
Thank you very much. That was lovely and encouraging. Thank you very
Thanks.
much. Yeah, that was really, really nice. Is that one of your favorites, or?
Definitely, because again, the title is self-explanatory and it's eternal, because we all do feel weak at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And being in an environment where you are unfamiliar, you're a stranger, you've got to work, you have to adjust rapidly and hold your own
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
amongst different calibers of characters. You do kind of feel weak. And you can't run away, you can't do nothing.
So was that poem from the book Fly or Practice What You
No,
Preach?
sorry, that was from Practice What You Preach. That was the second one in Practice What You Preach. That was 1998.
Can you show us your books, please, so we can
Right.
have a look at it and you can tell
This
people where they
is
can copy a copy?
this is the Fly. This is the second one, and this is
Mm-hmm.
all on Amazon, or you can get it on my handlers, at Barrett 007 on this
Mm-hmm.
line,
I'm going to
or
attach it to this post,
yeah, or
everything after.
Heavens. The
Mm-hmm.
last one I gave you, that's the actual fire page, the Heavens Table, capital H, Heavens, capital T, Heavens Table, 777. And this is the Practice What You Preach. This is the first. Big up to, Beauty and the Beast, but this is the first print out. But
Mm-hmm.
when they go up online, it's a different cover. It's more updated. This is my first, so that's the reason why I look away and look.
Well, congratulations on your first
Yeah,
two
my glory be,
publications and
glory
many
be.
more to come. Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
What?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wait. I'll go back to go to that in a minute. Yeah. Okay. So as we wind down the live, we have got to your outro, and as I ask everybody about their afterthoughts, how has it been for you tonight, Mr. B? Tonight, right here on Free Flame Thoughts with moi.
It's been elating with moi, as always,
With
man.
moi.
Moi. And I'm honored
With Madame. Yeah.
that in your quote unquote, you broke on your commandments.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been
You know
great.
what
I've
I'm saying?
enjoyed this
But I can
live.
see why. It makes sense. So it's an honor. And, to
Mm-hmm.
honor them and the people that are flowing in their opinions. I love opinions. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
Very
not concerned
interactive.
about opinions. I
Okay.
love opinions, but I'm not concerned about them. You know
I
what I'm
love it.
saying?
Perfect. And how do you feel about me borrowing you from time to time to come back and talk about
Boy,
other things with me? Every now and
no,
again, I find an individual I'd like to have regular talks with them on different
yeah,
topics. And
man.
you
All glory be to
definitely,
the Most High.
I'm going to be having them.
All glory to be to the
You're a
Most High.
great
And I'm
speaker.
with him, hence I can practice what I preach. Because he controls the time of us having this conversation.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's only right that one of these lives that we have very, very soon, because I'm about my word, that we invite Jay to come on and have a bit of a debate with us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
That would be
100, man.
Jay. What you saying? Are you about it?
You
Yeah.
understand?
Okay,
Talk
so let
about
me,
peaceful
before
life
we
changing.
go, let me be naughty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, you like that, man.
What is, I don't understand, Jay. That sounds like Joe, what?
Jail star.
Why, what's that in reference to? I'm confused.com. And just going back on the on Earth when
No,
we were
please
speaking
do,
about
man.
marriage, the last comments of the evening I'm going to read because I got to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, please do.
The last comment I'm reading from Earth. It says, "You trust in God and your marriage would work."
Oh, absolutely. Just like
Well, you
everyone
know what?
trusts
I'm
in
going to
God.
take it that Earth is speaking from lived experiences because
Of
often we
course, of
speak from
course.
we do often we speak
Right.
from the illusion of what we would like and our desires and our fairy tales. It's natural,
Precisely.
and there are people
Because
that have, again, we say again, lastly, compatible seasons. Yeah, compatible seasons, and therefore it always works with those people because you're both in a rhythm of season and work. But if you find that, I am in awe and you're so blessed. And if that's what you've got, please let us
mm,
know.
please
Yeah.
do. I'd like to meet you,
And
man.
as for
And
Jay,
is that for the topic
yeah,
of marriage or is that life
who's
as
sending
a
the
whole?
laughs out? I want to know who's laughing at the, yeah. And as for Jay, can I be the bridesmaid girl when you get married? It's a forever thing. So I've been many bridesmaids, you know how it goes. Can I be your bridesmaid, Jay? I want a yes on the public live.
Yeah, man. You understand?
Jay, where are
If you're not
you?
multiple times, keep
Can
it
I be
moving,
your
man.
bridesmaid at this forever wedding that you guarantee is going to happen forever? So I want to be a part of this, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Of course, man. You
Yeah.
must be there. You've got to be there, man. It's a living testimony.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Jay said he's on it 100%. I think he's
Of
talking
course.
about the live and having you
Of
come
course.
in. And,
Of course.
yeah,
Whichever way can it be, man? There's no
yeah,
other way.
that would be amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
you're both two individuals that have your own individual voice, and that's what I love.
Relationship with the Most
You
High as well.
understand?
Because unless Jay's coming on to speak on behalf of my Abba Father, he better come correct. I tell you straight now
Right.
on live.
Jay, wait. Did Jay mean yes for the live or yes, I will
Not to
be
be
your wife?
wife. Come on. Come on.
Jay,
Did you get
what are
it?
you going to listen?
Did you get it?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you get it?
You know,
Right.
I'm a handful. Let me see how
Right.
big
He
your hand
knows
is.
that. Listen, that's a public
Yeah.
declaration there, man.
I'm all woman. Yeah.
Right. That's a public
I'm
declaration,
playing.
man.
Well, thank you, Jay. I do. Guys, it's official. I said I do. I agree. You somehow
I,
proposed, I guess. I didn't see the ring, but who
yeah,
cares?
yeah,
We,
yeah.
we spiritual, right, Jay? We don't need no rings, yeah?
Exactly. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. It's an honor. Salute to the moment, man.
He's
And you're
beautiful. Thank you. Oh, Fee's definitely bridesmaid. That's my sister.
okay, good, good,
Yeah.
good.
She's
Congrats,
definitely bridesmaid. 100%. Yeah. See, she even said it. She said a flower girl before I even saw her comment. What did I tell you?
man. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
But
So
you
who's
stay
the
there,
best
Jay.
man?
You stay there, Fee. He might be thinking with both his wives. Stay there. Yeah.
Oh, see.
But that's a whole nother Jerry Springer show. I'm enjoying this live too much. Let me go before I say too much. Bye. No.
Yeah, no.
Thank you so much for your
No,
presence.
man. Honor,
Guys, it has
honor,
been so interactive. I've had a lovely, lovely time.
honor.
It's
Likewise,
been
my
really,
dear.
really nice. Thank you, Jay, Fifi, and everybody
Yeah,
else who
man. Salute to you
interacted on
all,
this
man.
live.
Honor, man. Salute to you all, man. Love, man.
And
Shalom, man.
guys, if you don't really want to, if there's anyone on this live that would like to have an exclusive live on any topic goes, as long as it flows, inbox me. I'll schedule a date. It's Wednesdays and Fridays, 8 p.m. UK time. And for those who want to have an interactive live, where we have 2 or 3 of us, let's make it work. Jay,
Mm.
Chris, throw me
Standard.
some topics, even the ones that we've had today. We can bring it back up and remix it into other things,
Listen,
and let's do a
whatever
live
topic
ASAP.
anybody
This
want to talk about.
by
Yeah,
next month. Let's make it happen.
yeah,
Yeah.
man.
All right, guys. Peace and love.
Shalom, man.
Bye. Thanks, Chris.
Bye.